Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials, and in this video we're going to start to remove those prototyping packages that come with Meteor. So in this one we're going to remove the insecure package so that we can write our own server methods. Let's get going on that now. Okay, so before we go any further, it's important to understand these prototyping packages that we have in here. We've briefly talked about. Now, what these packages allow you to do is there's two of them. There's auto publish and insecure. Now, we're going to be talking about insecure first in this video. Insecure allows you to run insert commands that you can see from our resolution form on the front end of our site. For instance, we could come to the front end and run this command here. Like any user on your site could come to your console and just type resolutions.insert, and then we can have some brackets, and let's just say text is equal to hi. Let's just hit enter here. As you can see in our Meteor toys right here, yeah, we have the text and ID for hi in here. Now, this is not going to be a desirable action if you want this site to be live, right? You don't want people to just start adding things to your database, especially without your approval. So you want to be able to guide their control to that in terms of what fields they're allowed to fill out, what's allowed to get saved into your database. Now, the one way we can do that is by simply coming to our packages, finding the insecure package, and deleting that. Now, Meteor adds these by default because they make getting started really quickly. However, I would not recommend ever having the insecure package in your site that's going to be live and used for anything unless it's just a quick experiment that you don't really care if somebody is able to just start inserting things into your database. So as you can see, insecure has been removed, but our site still works. And the only thing that's not going to work is actually submitting this form, because check this out. Finish series, enter, and we get an insert access denied, insert failed, because we can't insert from the front end any longer. And that code in the resolutions form, this code is no longer going to work. So what's the solution here? Well, the solution is Meteor methods. So methods are run on the server side. Let's just have a new file within our server folder, and it's just going to be named methods.js. Now in here, we're going to have a meteor.methods. Now Meteor methods is a function here. It's a method that allows us to create methods to call from the front end that get run on the server side. So let's go ahead and have a new method here, and that's just going to be add resolution. And this is going to accept simply an object of resolution. Okay, now inside of here is where we can throw our insert. So let's actually head to our form. Let's copy this whole insert line and let's paste it in here. Now, instead of text here, we're going to use resolution. So resolution is going to come in through here and get saved into the text field, the complete, and the created at. Cool. So we now have a resolution insert that's going to be running on our server, and this will allow us to run this without getting any sort of access denied. So how do we actually call this add resolution? Well, on our form here, where we had this insert, let's just go ahead and delete this. What we want to have is meteor.call. Now we're going to call the add resolution function, where we can then have a comma and pass in any sort of arguments we want to throw in here. So we can say text. So now we're calling Meteor resolution and passing in text. Now it looks in our methods, it finds add resolution, hits the text and resolution, and then runs this insert command. Now you might be looking at this and thinking, well, this is running this Meteor call and then it's setting the value to nothing, but what happens if this doesn't succeed for some reason? Do we still want this value to be set? You might be wondering, well, why don't we run this resolution inside of a callback? Well, we can do that. We can say we can say comma, then we can say double parentheses, like we could say open and close parentheses equal greater than brackets, and have ourselves a little arrow function here and pass in this dot refs like this. So now once the call is complete, it's then going to set this dot refs dot resolution dot value to 0. So let's check this out in action now. Okay, I'm going to add something new here. Let's scroll down so we can actually see it. Let's say do yoga. And as you can see, do yoga has now been entered and we have no errors, and our form has now been reset to being empty. Now you might be wondering why we did an arrow function here. Well, it's not just for shorthand. In fact, it's not for shorthand at all. If we were to do this as function like this and have a standard function here, what do you think is going to happen when we submit this form? Well, I'm just going to submit some dumb text in here and say hello, and as you can see, we get a big old stack of errors because it has no idea what this is. So you cannot read property of resolution of undefined. So what the arrow function allows us to do is use the this that this whole thing is referring to in terms of this component rather than this function right here. So sometimes people think that the arrow functions are just a shorthand, and that's actually not the case. It changes the context of this. Okay, so we have two parentheses equals greater than has the brackets this dot refs dot resolution value. Cool. So this all should be working perfectly now. We've removed the insecure package and we now have a function that's submitting, and guess what? If we were to try to run this resolutions.insert on our command line, we're going to get some errors. We're going to get a authorization access denied. Perfect. So this is just super good. This works really well. This meteor call stuff is really easy because now at any given point we can call any of these methods. Let's say in a couple of videos down the line when we add an update, we can have an update resolution in here and we can call that from inside of this single resolution, and we don't have to do anything special to do that. Cool, so the next video we're going to actually head to the resolutions wrapper and we're going to explore what happens when you remove the auto publish package from our site. Now, publish and subscribe is not a concept that's super easy to grasp if you haven't done it yet in Meteor, so I'm going to take some time with it, but by the end of it you should be really comfortable with Tracker, React, and what it's doing when we subscribe to data. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. If you want access to the rest of these videos along with videos that aren't even available on YouTube in this series, head to store.leveluptutorials.com and purchase this series for download. And if you want discounts or coupons to the Level Up store, sign up for our newsletter. I'm going to be sending out some stuff for when the new series launch so that you can get nice discounts on things at the Level Up store. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.